Okay, so this one's example 4. So it says, find the monthly payment and estimate the remaining balance at the given time. Remember, we did go over that formula where you can get an approximate balance. So this is a 10-year student loan for $28,500 at 2.82%. And then they want you to find the remaining balance after 5 years. So let's do the first part of finding the payment. So your present value is $28,500. Your rate is 2.82%. These are monthly payments. Okay, these are monthly payments. Now I know it did. Yeah, it said monthly. Okay, good. I was like, did I put? And then the time period is 10 years. 10 years. Let me just do 10. Okay. Now this 0.0282, right? And so my I is R over M. So that's going to be 0.0282 divided by 12. And your N is M times T. So that's going to be 12 times 10, which is going to be 120. Okay. So we have our present value, we have our I, and we have our N. So now we can complete the PV times I over 1 minus 1 plus I to the negative N, right? So 28,500 times 0.0282 divided by 12 divided by 1 minus 1 plus, same thing, 0.282 divided by 12 to the negative. So far, so good. Okay, so we have all of our pieces, right? That we have all of our pieces in there. All right, so now put this in your calculator and then multiply it to the 28,500. When you do that, you should get 66.975. And then next, do this. So do the division and then add 1. And then when you do that, you're going to raise this to the negative 120. When you do that, you should get 1 minus 0.75452326. Okay, so now you're going to do that part, subtract that. When you subtract that, you still have 66975 in the top. Your bottom becomes 0.24547674. And then when you divide that, you get this number, 272.836446, which is approximately $272.84. So that's the amount of your monthly payment. Okay, I'll just label this as A. That's the first part. And then they tell you, they say, find the remaining balance after 5 years. So after 5 years, so 5 years that's going to be what, 60 payments, right? Because see, we started with 10 years, and if 10 years is 120 payments, well, 5 years is half of that, right? So it's going to be 60 payments. So after 60 payments, what's the balance in the account? Now that formula, let me show you, PMT, that's the one that had a lot of extra stuff going on. So 1 plus I to the minus N minus X all over I. Okay. Yeah, that's the one with the extra stuff going on. We know our payment's not going to change. Well, not going to change. We have our payment right here. We know our I because we already calculated. The only thing that's going to be different is the X. So the X represents the number of payments that are left. So the N is what you started with, and the X is how many payments that you've already made. I said left. How many payments that you already made. So it's still, we found that our payment was $272.84, right? And then we have 1 minus 1 plus our same interest rate, this 0.082 divided by 12, 282, right? To the minus, our n was 120. So 120 minus 60, okay? I know I'm running out of room. And that divided by 0.0282 divided by 12, okay? So we plugged everything in that we see here. See the I, the N, the X, and the payment. You have the payment, the I, and then the N and the X, okay? So now let's just do the math. So 272.84. The denominator, let me draw this. When I did the denominator, I got 0.00235. 123. The numerator, so do, of course you can do that, and then do that part first or second. So you end up with 1 minus 1.00235, and that's to the negative 60, okay? Because 120 minus 60, hold on. The 120 minus 60 is 60, and then the negative in front of it, okay? So now in your calculator, do this, and then take 1 minus that, okay? So when you do that, you have 272.84. 1 minus that at the top is 0.13136701 divided by 0.00235,000. Okay, so now in your calculator, put that part. And when you put that part in your calculator, you get 55.900,85532. And when you multiply that, you get 15251.98937. And that's approximately 1,551.99. Oh, sorry, put my comma in the wrong way, in the wrong spot. Now remember, this gives you an approximation. If this were a bank, they would give you the exact, okay? So there's our when we filled in the formula, okay, for the payment, we got 272.84. And then, sorry, that's kind of small, isn't it? And then when we found the number of payments after 5 years, and the X represents how many payments you've already made. Okay, so however many payments, which makes sense. So take that, 120 minus the 60, and then when you do the math, so you've, out of all the first 60 payments you've made, you started out at 28,500. Now they're saying you have 15,000 less left to pay. Okay, hope that makes sense.